The Sepang MotoGP Test was supposed to be Yamaha's bold statement of intent for a new era. Instead, it turned into a tense, uncomfortable silence inside the garage, punctuated only by withdrawn machines, late-night meetings, and growing paddock whispers. When the V4 project suddenly disappeared from the track on day 2, questions exploded faster than lap times ever could. Then came Jack Miller, calm on the surface, brutally honest underneath. While Yamaha officials chose their words carefully, the Prima Pramac Racing rider cut straight through the noise, delivering a refreshingly raw take on the chaos that surrounded Yamaha's ambitious new engine concept. And in doing so, Miller revealed far more than Yamaha perhaps intended. Because beneath the technical setbacks, the pulled engines, and the official no big issue line, the Sepang test exposed just how high the stakes are for Yamaha, and how fragile the early steps of this V4 revolution truly are. Prima Pramac Racing rider Jack Miller has played down the technical issues that forced Yamaha to withdraw its new V4 engines during the second day of the MotoGP pre-season test at Sepang, Malaysia. The problems first emerged on day 1 of testing, Tuesday, the 3rd of February 2026, when Monster Energy Yamaha rider Fabio Quartararo suffered a crash that was widely believed to be linked to a technical malfunction. The incident immediately raised red flags inside the Yamaha camp, triggering an urgent and joint investigation by Yamaha's Japanese headquarters and its European technical base in Italy. As a precautionary measure, Yamaha made the decisive call to pull all V4 engines from the track on day 2. The move effectively grounded Yamaha's race riders and test team, leaving them sidelined while rival manufacturers continued gathering vital data under hot Sepang conditions. Testing resumed on day 3, with Yamaha opting to continue its program after internal checks were completed. However, questions lingered. And still do. Monster Energy Yamaha team director Massimo Meregalli remained tight-lipped when asked about the true nature of the issue. He insisted the problem was not severe, describing it only as something unexpected rather than critical. But the lack of technical clarity did little to quiet speculation in the paddock. While Yamaha's management avoided specifics, Jack Miller provided a far more candid perspective on the situation, and one that resonated across the MotoGP community. The Australian made it clear that setbacks like these are not only normal but inevitable, especially given the scale of Yamaha's technical shift. This is their first time racing with a V4 after running an inline 4 since MotoGP began back in 2002, Miller explained. It's like a small hiccup. But things like this do happen. It would be very naive to turn up with a bike built over 9 months and expect to race against the best in the world without running into issues. Rather than expressing frustration, Miller framed the chaos as a necessary stage in Yamaha's development curve, a reality check rather than a crisis. Miller's comments reveal something deeper than simple reassurance. Yamaha's V4 project is not just a new engine. It represents a fundamental reset of the brand's MotoGP philosophy. For over 2 decades, Yamaha's inline 4 defined its identity: smooth power delivery, corner speed, and rider-friendly characteristics. Switching to a V4 means relearning everything: power delivery, electronics behavior, chassis balance, tire interaction, and even rider braking style. Sepang, with its extreme heat and demanding layout, is notorious for exposing weaknesses. From that perspective, Miller believes Yamaha should actually welcome the disruption. This is all part of the process, he said. The team worked through the night to find solutions. Not just here, but back in Japan and in Europe as well. It's unavoidable, and honestly, it's much better for this to happen here than later in Buriram or during a race weekend. That final point is critical. Yamaha losing track time at a test is painful. But suffering a similar failure during a Grand Prix would be far more damaging, both competitively and politically. Miller also stressed that Yamaha's response has been anything but passive. Engineers across multiple continents were immediately mobilized, highlighting just how seriously the manufacturer is treating this project. This level of global coordination underlines Yamaha's commitment to making the V4 concept work. Even if the early steps are messy, the garage may have been tense, but the effort behind the scenes suggests Yamaha is fully invested in the long game. The next chapter of Yamaha's V4 journey arrives at the second pre-season test at Buriram, Thailand, scheduled for 21 of the 22nd of February 2026. Unlike Sepang, Buriram offers a more race-representative environment and far less room for excuses. By then, Yamaha will need to demonstrate not just reliability, but direction. Sepang exposed the cracks. Buriram will reveal whether Yamaha is learning fast enough. As Jack Miller sees it, panic helps no one. Relax, his message seems to say. This is MotoGP, this is progress, and progress is never clean. For Yamaha, the real race has already begun, long before the lights ever go out. Beyond the immediate technical questions, the Sepang episode also underlined the psychological pressure surrounding Yamaha's V4 transition. Inside the paddock, rivals are watching closely, not with sympathy, but with sharp interest. Every delayed lap, every covered engine, and every guarded comment is quietly logged by competitors who know that development races are often won off the track as much as on it. For riders, adapting to a V4 is not merely a matter of horsepower or top speed. Braking markers shift, throttle pickup behaves differently, and rear tyre management becomes a new discipline altogether. Even experienced MotoGP riders require time to recalibrate instinctive inputs built over years. In that context, Yamaha's interrupted Sepang program may slow data collection, but it does not invalidate the concept itself. There is also a strategic dimension at play. Yamaha's decision to halt running entirely on day 2 suggests a conservative philosophy aimed at preventing compounding errors. Rather than pushing through uncertainty, the manufacturer chose to protect both riders and hardware. A sign that safety and long-term development have taken priority over short-term headlines. Within the garage, sources suggest the atmosphere fluctuated between urgency and determination rather than outright panic. Engineers dissected telemetry line by line, while riders remained closely involved in feedback discussions. This collaborative approach may prove vital as Yamaha attempts to compress years of V4 learning into a single season. Jack Miller's calm acceptance of the situation further highlights his growing value beyond lap times.